All right, welcome back, everybody. I had some technical difficulties there, but we are back now with our match number 2. This is our wildcard round, and we are on a new map. This is QAI Labs. I am finally joined by Mr. Spiff himself, who is
Hello,
going
everyone.
to hopefully introduce our first player.
I will do just that, starting over here on the left-hand side, spawning in as the teal and player. It is Rainbows and Unicorns. And I know you guys missed the very beginning of this match. You didn't miss a whole lot, really. Both players just opened up with an air factory, followed by a land factory. And Nite, I know we're looking at something similar over on the other side of the map, but who is it that we're looking at?
On the other side of the map, it is one of the best Russian players spawning in white. Don't poke the melon or else he might bleed foxes. It is, of course, FoxTermelon spawning as the white Aeon commander. He also opened up in a very similar manner, and he is going one land, one air. It looks like they've been practicing on this map together, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, the only real difference so far in their builds is that Rainbows is expanding to the south with an engineer, and Fox, on the other hand, is expanding to the north, just a little bit slower,
You know,
and to the south.
that's one of the things that I was really looking forward to seeing is, are the players going to try and expand to the sides, or are they just going to rush for the center and hope to end the game very quickly in kind of like a Desolatia style match? And so far, I think it's a little bit of both, which I think
Yeah,
is
I
the
was
correct thing.
I was a little bit surprised to see air openers, to be honest, just because
Me
the
too.
rush distance on this map is so short.
Yeah.
But I think both players probably just like, okay, get a scout out, make sure that I'm not getting rushed, and then go from there.
Absolutely. And it looks like this rush by Rainbows is more to maybe set up a base here in the center. And it looks like Fox is gonna respond here. Looks like Rainbows is also doing a little bit of pre-spreading here, but Fox is still remaining back with his commander, not gonna push too far, which I think might be a little mistake because these tanks won't be able to do anything without ACU support, I think.
And there's just not quite enough of them. Although a lot of the units that Rainbows has brought forward here don't actually do very good ground fire, if at all.
Right. She only has 4 tanks here, but it's all going to be about this air fight. Looks like FoxTermelon choosing to engage with his air over the anti-air of Rainbows, and I
Who
think
got the
he's...
better engagement there, though? I mean, it looked like Fox did, right?
It looked like Fox did, but then he decided to back out, and then Rainbows did, so I don't know. Fox's air engagements are puzzling me lately. And that's one of the things that I wanted to say that is, on paper, it might seem like FoxTermelon might be the better player, which, I mean, I think most people would
Okay, sorry to
agree.
interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. Fox just sacrifice captured the engineer on the south side.
Oh shit, I didn't even see that go all the way. Oh my goodness, that's what
It
Rainbows
happened
likes to
so
do.
fast. It happened so fast.
Wow, that's crazy. I was just about to say how FoxTermelon hasn't been the same type of FoxTermelon that we saw last year during the summer season, where he just absolutely murdered everybody like without even dropping maps, and him losing to his AA clansmen like Vanity. So it's actually very interesting will be to see if Rainbows has been taking tips from Vanity, who has been having a lot of success against FoxTermelon. So maybe there's some interclan shenanigans going on. What do you think about that, Spiff?
It could be that. I think part of the reason that Fox is dropping more maps nowadays is because maybe he's grown a little bit of a conscience about the TMLs. Because we don't see him doing that nearly as much.
Okay, well, to be fair, I feel like in actual SCS tournaments during that summer, he hasn't done that as much. He's
No,
done that.
it did kind of become a meme, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it definitely did. Well, the reason why it did, and I'm not sure if you cast this tourney with me, but there was actually a Gamer Replays tournament last summer where I think every single game he went TML, no joke. And that's when people started, or I started memeing it or whatever.
And of course, I just pick up on these things and riff on them until they're not funny anymore.
You're like in the back trend. You remind us of what was several months ago, but we appreciate it nevertheless.
Yeah, I'm the anti-hipster. I only like things when they're not cool anymore.
This is a weird engagement here, though, with
Who got the
fighting
better
on.
end of that?
I don't know because there was a cliff edge there, so like, oh my goodness, look at that air. I think Rainbow's got a better engagement there because at the beginning she was right behind FoxTermelon's air, but somehow their airplanes have equated, even though Rainbow's has the same type of production that FoxTermelon has. But now she is getting an even better engagement, managing to pick apart all of FoxTermelon's air here. And this is why I say that Rainbows has a very solid chance here. Look at that! Like this is, we talked about this a few last week in a 2v2 tournament. It continues to show proof that FoxTermelon cannot engage with his air to save his life. And now there's bada booms here. I think that's a little too many bada booms. 4 out of maybe 20 units. That's kind of a lot.
Yeah, it is. Well, are you including the air there, though? Because those bada booms are also going to help the air.
Right, but I feel like that's just a lot of units. Anyway, that's just me.
I mean, they have a pretty good range, but they also don't do any damage, and they're relatively easy to pick off. So, a few spares I don't really mind, especially because they don't cost that much.
FoxTermelon is going to be pushing forward, however, maybe those bottom booms will come in useful here. Bombing run coming in, there are shielded units. Rainbow's actually prioritizing the tank that was split out, but she's nicely positioned underneath her shields here, although a lot of her tanks are out of the are out of the shield, actually.
Oh, that reclaim is so rude.
That is insane. Rainbow should probably try and push the FoxTermelon out of range here.
I don't know. That's pretty risky because there's still a lot of tanks here, and they're not going down very fast.
They're not going down very fast. Rainbows is now trying to reclaim a tank. I don't know what that's about. There's a PD going down. This game is just a mess, and this is why I was saying I think there was just too little ground firing units from Rainbows. There's still tanks surviving. Looks like FoxTermelon is focusing down Rainbows' commander here.
Yeah, honestly, against those shields, okay, if Rainbows had made 3 tanks instead of 3 of those bada booms, I don't think it would have made a difference in this fight.
I don't think so either. I think there was a little bit of miss micro though from Lay Rainbows too, and now her commander is really, really low. There's 2 PDs. God, FoxTermelon is so rude. And that is going to be game 1, ladies and gentlemen. Very quick. I mean, I thought this was gonna go into like a mid game, and FoxTermelon just pushed and ended the game.
Yeah, well, I think he might have had some training on those tanks too. They were just not dying.
Yeah, he got shields on him. He got probably training on them. I didn't check, but that was a ridiculously strong push. And I think when you take that middle position, you got to have at least 1 PD there to try and protect yourself. But that is only game 1, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go to game 2 here very, very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is game 2 of our match number 2. We are on Arctic Refuge. I'm joined by Spiff once again. Please introduce our first player.
All right, we're going to flip it around this time, starting in the top right. Spawning in as our white Aeon player, it is AA FoxTermelon, who has started off with a very fast research station. This is in contrast to the last map, short rush distance. Now we've got a long rush distance, so there's a little more time for that research. And Nite, what's going on the other side of the map there?
On the other side of the map, the color is wrong for her, but I will change that in just a second. It is the most colorful type of unicorn at the end of the rainbow. It is, of course, Rainbows and Unicorns from Clan AA. She's spawning in as the blue, not teal, which is very, very surprising. And Commander, she's plopped down 1 land factory and an air factory. She's going to scout Fox really quickly, so she's going to see that research station. Let me switch the overlay really quickly.
Yeah, we've been seeing this a little bit more. I think the old school wisdom was in a pro match you don't open with a research station because you're likely to die. So we've seen the meta shift a little bit on that over the last few years, and now we've seen a few really good pro builds that start with a research station, especially on these longer rush distance maps. We've seen it work out really, really well on maps like QAI Labs as well, where the rush distance is really far.
Yeah, well, I think it also has to do with a little bit of confidence, and FoxTermelon definitely has a very solid build. He can play defensively, offensively, and then turn it on its head like we saw in the last game. So it all comes down to how well you can defend the aggression that could be coming your way. And also, I feel like FoxTermelon likes to open up in a research station on most maps, particularly on maps like Iskellian, where it kind of like chokes in the middle. And you can't really say that Arctic chokes in the center, but if it does come down to aggression, it certainly does choke. I mean, any map chokes at that point, I feel like.
Yeah, well, Arctic, you just have a few narrow paths into your opponent's base. So it is choke pointy, it's just the center is pretty open here. Which is very similar to the last map that we saw. I forget what we're calling it, but it's the QAI Labs respawn, I guess.
Respawn.
Or is
SCS
it, no, not
mod.
QAI Labs. QAI
Prototype.
Prototype. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. So far,
Another-
Rainbows is not utilizing her air.
Well, she saw the AA on the bots already, so.
Right, but I mean, it's easy for us to say, but I mean, she could be hunting down the expanding engineers like FoxTermelon is trying to do. Although he is sending some bots over there already preemptively.
Yeah, and so far Rainbows has built a lot of shotjas, which are not that great against bots because bots are so fast.
Right, and FoxTermelon definitely has impeccable control of his units, so I think he can definitely look at that. He's going to scout. He's going to find out these are shotjas. He knows exactly what's going on at the expense of just one bot. Just one bot.
And Rainbow's wisely focusing on tanks for now, it looks like.
Yeah, I think that's the better choice, and unfortunately, I think these bots, their mobility is scaring off Rainbows from expanding, and that's a little bit of a problem here. Of course, we don't see Fox expanding because of that air opening from Rainbows, but we actually see Rainbows not continue on with her air production. So once Fox stops seeing air or sees the same three bombers there, I think he will start expanding, and that is when Rainbows will start falling a little behind.
Yeah, well, I think they're, what, exactly even on eco right now?
Fox has two more
Does he?
mexes. Yeah, he expanded two.
Oh, yeah, he got the outer two there. Yep, I see. But he's missing the one in front, so is it only one more?
Oh, that's true. Yes,
more.
only
Yep.
one more. I forgot to count the ones up front. So yeah, Rainbows has kind of expanded forward a little bit. And FoxTermelon has grabbed a very quick 4-factory opening. Very curious with this amount of mass extractors.
No, I think that's a really solid point. Just because of the way mass extractors rank up, I think it's really solid to get like 8 or 9 mass extractors. Kind of similar to the way you would in like a team game, you know, it's usually 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good spot to like stop and transition into the mid game before you start expanding again.
And it looks like FoxTermelon is going to be pushing out down to the bottom, looking for more expansions, but he's not actually going to find any, which might be a little bit of a bonus for Rainbows. But she's still down one factory. She did stop to build a research station. Unfortunately, I think that's taking quite a bit of a toll on her production now and her ability to expand with more land factories.
Yeah, she is falling behind on the production, and just the size of those blobs tells the story right there.
Yeah,
Bada Boom's now coming out for Fox as well.
And she can't really expand with the protection of her air, even if she did have air. Again, the fact that FoxTermelon has those bots really makes them a great harassing unit, and she really needs to have land to counter these. Now, there is a 4th land factory making its way for Rainbows. It is very, very late compared to FoxTermelon's. And it looks like she's going to transition into Bada Booms as well.
I think Fox is going to beat her to teleport, though. He's already preparing with a line of energy generators.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he had that research station up much quicker than Rainbow's, and now there's another flank on the left. But looks like he doesn't want to commit to it.
I think he might just be kind of patrolling that area to keep Rainbows away and keep his engineers safe. I don't think he's really looking to be super aggressive on that side right this minute.
Well, those tanks from Rainbows might be a little bit of a problem. Of course, in theory, tanks are better, but I've seen some crazy bot micro, whether it be Harvogs, Loyalists, or Titans, that really managed to make this kind of fight pretty even.
Rainbows has preemptively built some shields on her forward factories.
Yeah, I mean, I think she knows. She scouted that research station very early. I think she knows that she's behind on that teleport tech. She is just getting her 5th land factory as well, so she knows that she's a bit behind on production as well. So I think it is absolutely the correct choice to play a little more defensively here. Although against FoxTermelon, it's hard to play either way. But I think defensively, it's even harder.
Yeah, Fox now spreading his units out. Basically, Fox has really great control over this map, even though Rainbows has pretty solid hold in this choke here. The rest of the map is just Fox's to do with what he pleases.
Yeah, it's the fact that he opened up with those very mobile units, and it's kind of surprising. I feel like I don't see. It's probably completely wrong, but I feel like I don't see Fox using Harvogs all that often. Maybe
Rainbow's very wisely control K'ing that mass extractor, but that's painful. That leaves her on only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which, I mean, I said that's a good amount to transition into the mid game, but by now that transition should be in full swing, and Rainbow's just can't really expand off of this now.
Yeah, I mean, she's outnumbered in the center 2-1. I feel like by this point. And
she's trying to expand. Oh no, that's not an expansion engineer. She's sending a sneaky one all the way around the edge of the map into the back of Fox's base.
Yeah, that is very slowly becoming the trademark of Rainbows. I feel like I see that happening every game, but I think Fox is very aware. I feel like he plays very zoomed out and is aware of a lot of these flanks. Especially when he's controlling all these bots all over the map, he has to kind of play even more zoomed out.
And this is a map that it's easy to do that on because it's relatively small.
Yeah, it looks like he is... I thought that engineer was coming to intercept, but I don't know if he's aware of this. Oh, there's the teleport. Straight into the middle of Rainbow's base here. Gonna start picking off those mass extractors, and those tanks are so slow. Even with the help of those charges, they're just not doing damage to those bots. There's a teleport into the center. It looks like there was a scouting teleport.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, I don't know. I didn't know if you caught that. This cute little scout. Oh. Hey, let's see what units you're building. Just teleport one bot in, sacrifice it.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, Fox does that frequently enough. Oh, a little bit of miss micro. Tanks do engage, but there's another teleport. And... oh, there's the defensive teleport from Rainbows. Okay, so we are now on equal footing here, but unfortunately she has already lost one mass extractor. A factory does go down, and she's going to lose another mass extractor here. Loses
and
all
that's
her
a
air
teleport
as well.
snipe right there.
Will Fox have enough here? Rainbows is microing her ACU into shields of her factories. There's just a lot of units, and I feel like FoxTermelon's units don't go down, and Rainbows' commander does indeed go down. Very quick feeling game, and I feel very sad for Rainbows after this game. What do you think about this series?
Well, I would imagine going in that Rainbows probably knew it was going to be an uphill battle. Fox is really strong. Rainbows is a great player too, but I mean, this is... I don't want to say it's what we expected, but it's not a surprising result.
Yeah, absolutely. FoxTermelon is favored in most matchups that we're going to see, but maybe not in the next one that we're going to be seeing, because in the quarterfinal match, he will be going up against Iron Commander, and that, as I mentioned in the live draft of this bracket, is a classic, not just because it's a Cybern versus Aeon, but because Iron and FoxTermelon tend to always meet each other in an SCS tournament where they're both participating, obviously. So that is going to be a nice little bonus for you guys to look forward to in 1 week's time. I'm certainly looking to that as one of the best matches in the quarterfinals that we're going to have. And I'm super happy for FoxTermelon that he was able to move on. And very sad for Rainbows. I felt like this could go to a game 3, and I felt like Rainbows could definitely show a little bit more than she did. I was also expecting TML. Were you expecting TML, Spiff?
I mean, it's always a toss-up, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, maybe not. I think maybe because they're both AA, they're kind of respecting each other, so they're not gonna go that route. But in any case, it was a good match. I really enjoyed seeing QAI Prototype. I think it's a very interesting game, or interesting map rather, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. Hopefully more people will pick it. And particularly, I kind of want to see Cybern play on that map. I know it's might not be necessarily a Cybern favored map, but definitely looking forward to seeing what players come up with on that map. And I think we are going to go to another break here. We have about a hour before the next one starts again, so I hope you guys can join us for the next one. The next match will be JP Smith versus Soul. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back, not very, very soon, but soon enough. If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.